Okay, let's check if this is working. Fuck off. Okay, it is. All right, same thing as I always do on these live streams. And I always tend to do these when I'm tired, so always apologize. Play basketball. But yep, gonna go through markets just really quickly. Just give my thoughts. I'm gonna go through crypto, gold. Um, Also look a little bit at the pound because it moved so much today because of the interest rate news. So see what we can really look at there. Start off at crypto. Yeah, I mean, I think let's go to the day chart here. So obviously the big news with crypto, I think, was that, we finally had that breakdown over 30,000, or sorry, below 30,000, but we really got a very strong bounce exactly where the previous wick was, right? And we now kind of saw these last 2 days of corrective action. We got a pretty strong bounce, and obviously that's a pretty good sign. Um, yeah, it's everything looks pretty strong. And we really want to see, I mentioned yesterday that we want to see how we closed. We still closed below 34,000, which in my opinion is still pretty bearish. But let's see how this third day candle really looks in terms of closing before we can really determine, where we potentially could go from here. I would really want to try and see this third candle close above 34,000 if we're really going to continue staying in this range, or if we're really going to just kind of capitulate and then kind of turn back over here and then start trading here and then potentially break back down again. Um, that's what I'm kind of really looking for. And I know I've been saying for a while that I at least I personally think like, we're kind of in like a bear market at this point. I mean, I don't know how you can really argue otherwise. Um, Especially when you start looking at the weekly chart. It doesn't look great, honestly. But yes, right now, as of now, I mean, we still have 3 days left of this week, but as of now, this weekly candle is starting to look really, really nice. But again, you have to really just wait to see how things close out. Um, when we had that big drop, it was obviously pretty scary. We got that bounce back up, and obviously that's pretty positive. But I mean, I guess one thing I just really want to say about this more than anything is that I've seen some other videos from like bigger YouTubers and all that kind of stuff talking about this bounce that we got off at 28,000, which coincided with the last wick, and they're basically stating outright almost that, yep, that was a sign of a reversal. And I mean, I this kind of practice in the YouTube space honestly just really pisses me off because you're just, like these YouTubers obviously understand that they have a pretty big influence on people, that they can easily persuade public opinion. And, again, it's in their best interest to kind of promote the fact every time we get a strong bounce to release a video like one day later and be like, oh yeah, we're reversing. But I mean, I don't know. I maybe I'm just too much of a negative piece of shit, but I just think that that is just really piss poor practice, and you can't do that when, you know, we've set it we've set a lower low and volume's not particularly great. And yes, okay, we've now had like 3 straight days of, relatively bullish price action, I guess. But I mean, if you just look at the larger picture, we're still way, way, way far away from a point where we could really claim that a reversal is happening, right? And when these stupid fucking YouTubers start telling people that, oh, just because we bounced off 28,000, that now we've had some sort of reversal, um, without any other type of price confirmation. I mean, we haven't even gotten but above again 34,000. Um, I just think that that's really, really, really. I mean, it's just kind of a shitty thing to do more than anything because, people who are beginners or have no experience with crypto have have not looked at the market for like multiple years, like, more experienced people, they'll fucking believe anything, I mean, these are a lot of people who are involved in crypto. Everybody knows that these are people with, some of them have very little financial education, okay? It's the only reason why shit coins exist. It's literally the only reason, because a lot of people who are invested in this market, unfortunately, as of right now, have no fucking idea what they're doing, what they're talking about, and they also have zero financial education, you know? And I don't want to sound just like a massive dick, but it just really, really frustrates me. I mean, it's one of the main reasons why I even decided to start putting these videos online, is because I just I just think that there's so much bullshit out there, and this is actually even from like, YouTubers who I before, kind of like respected, in the sense that I thought that they were always giving good takes, they were giving good opinions, and yes, of course, they were kind of like, permables, but I thought they were always trying to be reasonable. But you cannot fucking tell me that just because we've had this bounce of 28,500, that now that's a signal of a reversal. Okay, we all know that the reason as well, like one of the main reasons that we got that bounce, is because people had their orders stacked, right? And there was also a huge capitulation as a result of people getting their fucking accounts wiped out because they were doing dumb shit like trading crypto on margin. So, yeah, man, fuck that. It just kind of pisses me off. And I'm not trying to be negative about crypto either, because ultimately, out of anything, I still really do enjoy the crypto market, and I really like trading it, and I'm a big believer in a lot of projects. But um, man, you cannot just watch what happened with crypto, with Bitcoin over the last couple of days, and then just fucking tell me that, now we're in a bull market, because actually your bias inside is so strong, and you just so desire, you have such a strong desire to re-see those $60,000 levels, that even like this little ass bounce, you're gonna fucking create a YouTube video with a misleading title saying, oh yeah, crypto to 100,000. I mean, come on, stop that shit. It's just really, really fucking frustrating. I just really, really can't stand it. Anyway, that's enough of my rant on Bitcoin and crypto, because fuck me, God, it just pisses me off. Anyway, so we are seeing a pretty good rebound at the moment, but again, I'm just not, I'm again, I'm still just staying patient, because nothing about this price action, to me at least at the moment, signals that we're going to be progressing um, further right now in terms of price. If on the day chart we really get above the 21-day EMA, that's when I'm going to start. Okay, then potentially looking at like, okay, yeah, maybe can we really get past that? And then so first passing the 21-day EMA, then the next step would really be passing again the test of that 200-day moving average, which again sort of coincides with that really, really strong resistance right now, 41,000. But again, when price is only fucking here, stuck at what was previously not that particularly strong of a support or resistance level, please don't release a stupid fucking video saying that um, this 28,000 bounce was a reversal. God, that's really frustrating, and frankly, it just pisses me off. It's those types of terrible takes, and that, frankly, that misinformation that gives crypto a really bad name. Um, and I just don't like that shit. Anyway, um, so I think, but one thing I'll just quickly say, as in terms of alts, nothing's really changed, of course, but I think the whole alt market is really waiting on what Bitcoin is going to do at the moment before we can really see, okay, can we actually get back to a slightly higher level on altcoins? We're just playing a waiting game when it comes to Bitcoin, because right now not a lot's happening, and we just really want to see where Bitcoin is going to close today. So I think that's really the key thing. Dominance is still where we are at the moment. Right now, it just looks like we're continuing this classic step pattern, right? Up, consolidate, up, consolidate, up, probably consolidate some more. So 50% is still definitely on the books, in my opinion. That's all I really want to say about crypto, guys. Sorry if I'm not going to go into it that much right now, but because man, so much shit about it just really pissed me off. What I saw over the last 2 days, and I'm just getting really frustrated with it. Kind of makes me fucking hate crypto, a little bit. Anyway, all right, now to go into gold. So gold's also been pretty fucking boring actually for the last few days. So if you actually saw a video that I did yesterday talking about a price wedge that had actually been forming on gold, it was actually something like this. Uh, like this, something along these lines, right? If you look at the hour chart, we actually got a really strong candle breaking up to the upside on gold, which is exactly what is to be expected when you have a price wedge like that. So congratulations to anybody who had maybe bought like a buy position here and got to close up here. That's a nice little move and a nice little trade. Unfortunately, we did not get the continuation pattern that normally happens, or doesn't normally, but sometimes happens when you get that breakout of the price wedge, that continuation pattern of breakout and then making the top of the wedge support and then continuing up. I think if anything, what yesterday showed us in terms of the price action is that, man, 1800 is proving to be an extremely strong resistance given the overall bearish trend for the dollar, but at the same time 1760 is proving to be a very, very strong floor. And this particular week, we have not really had any sort of catalyst in terms of also fundamentals, in terms of news that's got us to allowed us to really either push through the 1800 resistance or break down below the 1760 support, right? So yes, we got that technical breakout, but we didn't really have the momentum to continue the breakout out of the price wedge. So essentially the wedge continuation pattern failed. It is what it is. So how I've actually been playing I did actually play the market this past day. I pretty much was setting buy limits at 1785 and above. Sell limits at 1785 and above with a stop loss at about 1803, so just above the general resistance zone. And at the same time, I had buy limits set at 1770 and below, and had the stop loss set at around 1758. And I didn't get any positions triggered, obviously, in this buy zone because we never actually got that low, but I did get some triggered, obviously, up here. And yeah, I mean, that's really the way to trade sideways price action like this. If we look at the economic calendar, for example, for tomorrow, um, we're going to Friday, 25th. Yeah, there's not really much that's actually happening, which is going to allow us, or basically going to allow price, rather, I think, to either break down out of this support floor or break out of this resistance level here. So I assume we're probably going to continue seeing sideways price action for tomorrow. And although sideways price action is really, really fucking boring to cover in terms of making a video about it and like doing analysis, and that's actually what I really, really enjoy about the gold market, because I am a kind of social science or like politics, international relations background or degree holder, and I like analyzing the fundamentals mixed with the technicals. But right now, I mean, fundamentals aren't just really there to really cause any momentum swings. And I just think that from a technical standpoint, I don't see why we're not going to continue more sideways price action tomorrow. Just a bunch more of this shit. And the reality is that this kind of pattern is really easy to day trade. So I'm going to take advantage of it. I have my position set for tomorrow. I've already made some good profit today. Had the position open at 1785 and closed down here with a pretty decent lot size, so I was pretty happy with that. Managed my risk. Like I said, I'm aiming for an 1803 stop loss. I can even draw those out. 1803 stop loss for a sell limit and an 1758, 1757 stop loss if I'm setting a buy limit in this position down here. But yeah, I mean, guys, you can really just continuously trade this pattern all day long. You can even be more risky and really also set, those stacked positions, though I don't really like to do that. I mean, I do it sometimes, but you can also start, playing that 1775 kind of mini resistance level as well if you really want to take some risk. But I think the simplest way to trade this kind of price action at the moment as a beginner, put your sell limits here, put your buy limits here, stop loss for your sell limits here, stop loss for your buy limits here, and just continue making some money. And that's really it. Be smart with your take profits, either trail stops, but trailing stops with a sideways price action doesn't really make sense. So just take your profits and then just keep on rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Um, and right now, doesn't seem like anything's really going to change at the moment until we get a breakout. In terms of the actual news for gold, right? I mean, everything this week has just been really mixed. The GDP data came out was as expected, so nothing really changed there. Um, the jobs data was slightly bad, but not really also super bad, so nothing really changed there. You had Powell coming out trying to kind of calm markets, but then other FOMC members coming out and speaking about, yes, we need to be more aggressive with interest rates. Um, yeah, so all of these different types of things. Yeah, so it's been very mixed, and price has just been really going sideways when it comes to gold. This, admittedly, for myself as well, this 1760 price level has proven quite a lot stronger than I thought. Again, I really thought we would probably try and test the 1750 level, but it just hasn't happened. So, yeah, when price is going sideways, just accept it. I lost my trade because I thought USD is going bad with the news. Yeah, you mean did you get stopped out? Honestly, getting stopped out on a trade, I don't consider that a loss. Or at least that's what I hope you did. If you get stopped out, I mean, it is what it is. It happens to everybody. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's clear that obviously at this point, like this support level is pretty strong. Ultimately, if we also look at the DXY, um, the DXY still doesn't looks like we want to continue further, right? If we especially start going to the 4-hour chart. You know, we're getting pretty strong bounces if we're on the 4-hour chart, we're getting pretty strong bounces off the 50-day, which is definitely a positive sign. And now we've gotten back above the 21-day. So I would fully expect to retest this 92.5. And obviously there's that correlation between the dollar and oh, you're expecting gold to go up. That's strange because all this talk about interest rate has been happening at the moment. So fundamentally, the dollar is pretty bullish at the moment. Anyway, so, oh, you mean the news that came out this week, or sorry, today, right? Like what is that? Was the core goods data, right, or whatever it was. Anyway, um, the point is that I think still over the next coming days, I do expect to retest the 92.5 level. And hopefully we can actually break through that and then really get back to retesting this relative high here. So I'm still pretty bullish on the dollar, but I will just have to say that the 1760 price floor is proving to be stronger than I thought. I guess those gold bulls are still out there. So it is what it is. Um, again, for tomorrow, I do expect continued sideways price action. So trade it how I was just talking about previously in the video. Last quick thing is I wanted to quickly look at the pound because the pound actually, if you guys have been following currency markets at all, the pound has been one of the most bullish currencies for the last few months, just because the Bank of England came out saying that they were planning to, increase interest rates, and they were planning interest rate hikes, et cetera, et cetera. They were kind of planning to pull back on the monetary policy. However, today at 6 p.m. my time, which I don't know what is in British time, they came out and they kept interest rates flat. And man, the market really responded to that, which was definitely interesting to see. We saw that big, let's go to the hour chart. We definitely are now seeing that bearish price action here. If we look at pound yen, getting that continued bearish price action there. And as we know, when you're talking about interest rates, that's really one of the most bullish or bearish signals for a currency, and especially when it comes to like determining the trend over the coming days. So I'm definitely going to eye a couple of trades potentially with the pound. Maybe pound dollar, where also the dollar is pretty bullish right now. So I think there's kind of that mix of momentum there, or maybe with the pound yen as well. It would be really interesting to see if we actually got a bounce off of this support range at 1.385. We saw a bounce back up maybe to the 50-day, maybe putting opening a sell position there, or maybe even slightly higher here. If we actually manage to get back here, expecting the momentum to continue to drop, um, those are kind of things which are interesting, or potential trade subs, at least that I'm eyeing. Also, if we actually manage to break down out of this pound support level, where we previously had some resistance here, pull back up, and then opening the position here to go further down. That's another trade setup that I'm definitely eyeing. So anyways, that news was very, very, very bearish for the pound, I would say, as the markets are clearly indicating. So could be interesting to look at some trade setups off that. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk for today. I'm really tired, guys. Really sorry. I'm sorry for the fucking crypto rant as well, but I just felt like somebody had to say it because, God, there's so much garbage out there. Anyway, guys, take it easy.